Have you ever looked around and wondered why some people seem to rise in life without noise, without drama, without the need to shout their accomplishments from the rooftops? Have you ever felt the pull to disappear for a while, to work in silence, to become stronger without broadcasting it? Welcome back to the channel, dear friends. Thank you for joining me today. This video is going to go deep into a truth that most people don't understand until life humbles them. That true power is quiet, and real strength does not announce itself. Today, we're exploring why, especially in middle age, staying silent, staying steady, and working without applause is not just wise, it's transformational. Here's a phrase that says, lions don't need to roar, their presence is enough. This is the essence of our conversation today. Because something powerful begins to happen when you reach a certain age. You stop craving attention. You stop chasing validation. You stop needing to prove anything to anyone. And instead, you begin to understand that life is not about being seen, but about being solid. Let me tell you the story of a man named Lee. In his 20s, he was loud, vicious. He wanted the world to know who he was. He posted every achievement online, argued to defend every opinion, and sought constant praise. At 30, life had punched him a few times. Business failed, his health declined. He lost people he thought would always stay. At 40, he had changed. He no longer cared for approval. He no longer explained his choices. He started waking up before the sun, training his body, learning in silence. He built a new business, quietly, patiently. He stopped reacting to insults. He stopped attending every argument he was invited to. And he became successful again. But this time, you wouldn't know it unless you asked. One day, a friend said, "You've changed. You don't talk much anymore." He smiled and replied, "Because I'm busy doing." That's what happens when you evolve. You get tired of noise. You understand that success is not about appearance. It's about foundation. And that the most powerful people are often the quietest in the room. So why does this matter more in middle age? Because by then, you've seen enough of life to know what's real and what's fake. You've tasted the bitterness of betrayal, the pain of failure, the loneliness of leadership. And you've realized that drama is cheap. Peace is priceless. Middle age is when your energy becomes precious. You no longer give aid to arguments that don't matter. You no longer invest in people who drain you. You no longer compete, because you finally realize there is no race. This is where quiet strength is born. Not from hiding, but from choosing. Choosing stillness over chaos. Choosing growth over noise. Choosing self-respect over recognition. It's about becoming the kind of person who can walk into a room and change the temperature, not with words, but with presence. Think about the people you admire most. Are they the loudest, or are they the ones who carry wisdom in their eyes, to speak only when it's necessary, to listen more than they talk? That's real strength. A kind of strength that doesn't panic. A kind that doesn't gossip. A kind that doesn't need to win every debate. It just exists, steady, centered, unfakeable. Another reason to embrace this quiet power in middle age is because your responsibilities increase. You may have a family to care for, team to lead, community that depends on you. You can afford to be reactive. You can afford to waste energy on distractions. You must become a fortress, calm, disciplined, wise. Because others are looking to you, not for entertainment, but for direction. This is the difference between boys and men, between girls and women. With need to be seen, and need to build. Girls want to be liked. Women want to be respected. And respect, like strength, is earned in silence, over time, through consistency, Prove how you live when no one is watching. Let me tell you another story. Woman named Mai was known for being fiery and fierce in her younger years. She never backed down, never stayed quiet. But by 45, something had shifted. She became selective with her words. She started reading more and arguing less. She began spending weekends in nature, unplugged. Her friends said, "You've gone soft." But her children said, "You've become peaceful." One night, at a family gathering, her father, who rarely complimented her, pulled her aside and said, "Your silence is more powerful than your old fire ever was." That moment changed her. Because she understood, maturity is not about having answers. It's about learning when not to speak. It's about realizing that not every battle is worth fighting. And not every insult needs a response. And not every slight is worth your energy. You don't need to defend yourself to those committed to misunderstanding you. You don't need to explain your journey to those not walking it with you. You don't need to advertise your growth. Growth is yours. Your power reveals itself through peace, patience, and presence. And if you can embrace this mindset in middle age, you will enter the most powerful years of your life. You will become magnetic, not because of what you say, but because of what you radiate. You will become trustworthy, not because of your wisdom, but because of your character. You will become unstoppable, not because you're fearless, but because you're not controlled by fear. This is the time to rebuild yourself. Not in public, but in private. So read more, read more, heal more, reflect more. Cut away what no longer serves. Invest in what truly matters. To become the person you once dreamed of, not through words, but through work. So if you're in your 40s or 50s and feeling like you're behind, let me tell you this, you're not behind. We're just being called inward. You're being invited to retreat, refine, and rise up louder, but deeper. You don't need everyone to notice. You just need to know. And when you know, you walk differently. You speak differently. You live with a quiet fire that needs no validation. That's power. That's maturity. That's peace. Thank you for watching this video. If this message resonated with you, let us know in the comments. What has your journey through middle age taught you? How have you learned to harness your quiet strength? Subscribe to the channel, share this with someone who needs a reminder of their inner power, and keep walking your path with calm, with courage, and with silence that speaks volumes.